absolutely horrible. Hi guys, I am sorry. Things have been kind of poo poo around here right now. At the moment. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Things have been kind of crazy. Today's topic is a really cool one. I think you're going to enjoy it. Um, I know I enjoyed working on it. So hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. Um, we are doing Bigfoot, Primate, or Hoax, and it should be a really, really good live. Lots of information to pass out, um, and pass on to you. So welcome, welcome, one and all. Okay, so continuing. Before we get into today's discussion, I want to reflect on some really basic facts about Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a modern name, and by modern, I mean it was developed in the 1960s. However, Sasquatch is a much older name, and the name is the one I'm going to use throughout this live is Sasquatch. Sasquatch by the way, means wild man or hairy man. And many indigenous groups here in North America have legends or stories about Sasquatch. Sometimes the name changes a little bit here and there, but basically it is the same creature. Um, if you have questions that pop up as we go through this, please let me know. I am more than happy to answer those as much as possible. So, sometimes legends and myth begin out of a misunderstanding of what is really going on, or it comes out of a but usually it's because we don't know what's going on around us. So keep that in mind as we go through this. So I'm going to pose two questions to you, and it can either be yes or no. Could Sasquatch be a real lost primate species, meaning we haven't identified it yet? Is Sasquatch a creature of supernatural origins? And if he is, what does that mean for other supernatural creatures? Is he a hoax? Is there another possible explanation for what people are seeing? You tell me. I don't know. I want live chat. Apparently, I can't make a post for this one. I have no option to do a poll. That's odd. I could yesterday. Anyway, moving on. Some tribes believe that Sasquatch is a very real creature. And he stands somewhere between 7 feet all the way up to a possible 10-foot height. He could even weigh as much as 600 pounds. Now, my figure, I don't know what the scale is on him, but as you can see, he walks on 2 legs and he is hairy. Another thing that is quite common is that there is a smell. I've never smelled it, so I don't know. In all accounts, though, he is covered in hair. In order to do this topic justice, we are going to look at Sasquatch first as a real live animal. And I had to do some digging, some serious digging, but I did it. So we're going to be using a lot of chimpanzee information for this because they have a different territory. They have different territory sizes depending upon where they live. That is chimpanzees. So a chimpanzee that lives in the rainforest has a territory of around 8 square miles. Now, keep in mind that in the rainforest, food is readily available, and so are other resources. In a savanna area, they require around 77 square miles for their territory. So the question I pose to you now, could Sasquatch be the same? Could they have smaller territories in areas where resources are plentiful? Or do they have resources that are more spread out? And would their population in areas where food is more plentiful be higher than in places where maybe resources are not so plentiful? And yes, I sort of agree, Carol, that perhaps the primate species, it could be a primate species. You mean the size could be exaggerated? Perhaps. Perhaps. Why am I not using gorillas for their territory? My reasoning is that Sasquatch is more than likely an omnivore. Therefore, he would require a little bit more range in order to find food. This is not a creature that's just out there eating plants. He might also be out there hunting. If it's real, Sasquatch would need a ready source of prey and food plants. Another thing that Sasquatch would have in common with other apes is their intelligence. They would be, no doubt, using tools of varying kinds. Most apes build some type of nest of some kind or another. So, where do these primates build their nest? And do they resemble the nest of the other big apes? Meaning that Sasquatch has a nest. Chimpanzees use leaves to build their nest up in trees. Gorillas also will bed down. Okay, I gotta see. Seeing as how great apes and hominids, that is us, tend to live in family groups, you could speculate that Sasquatch also lives in family groups. Of course, this is just speculation, as is everything else that we've talked about so far. Any questions up to this point? Why? Okay. Then I'll wait a second, see if any questions come through. Otherwise, I am going to move on. Okay. Chimpanzees are known to plan monkey hunts. So, does Sasquatch plan out hunts for game? And what game are they hunting? At this size, they could probably take down deer, rabbits, birds. They might fish somehow. So all of that is possible. As for an absence of skeletons, because we haven't been able to find a skeleton, is it possible that this creature buries their dead? We have seen that in some hominid species other than humans, where they actually bury the dead. Are they going to a certain spot to bury their dead? Okay, so Carol says that someone reported them seeing one with a deer over the shoulder. That's, if it's true, pretty powerful statement. That shows that they do hunt, or that they claimed the kill of a hunter. It would be amazing to discover that Sasquatch did in fact bury their dead. That could point to a greater intelligence than we originally thought. Again, I'm not saying that this is the case, but it would explain the absence of bones. Have they learned behaviors to keep themselves out of sight of humans, such as switching from maybe a nocturnal life, or a life out during the day, to a life that is more nocturnal? Or are they more active between dawn and dusk? Do they scent mark? A lot of animals scent mark, rather it be through urine, through body glands, through feces, through signals. Do they vocalize? Do these animals vocalize? Gibbons will vocalize in the mornings to let everybody know, this is my territory, stay out of it. And there have been reports of people hearing what sounds like primate voices in places where they shouldn't be hearing them. Another trait that we share with some of our ape cousins is our closeness to DNA. Now, I think I've talked about this either in videos. I don't know if I've talked about it in lives, but we share a really strong DNA comparison between the great apes. I believe we are 98.9% a genetic match with bonobos, which are pygmy chimps, and 98.9 with chimpanzees. Are we closer to Sasquatch? Or maybe it's a little bit lower. But the important thing to keep in mind is that because of that closeness, Bigfoot would be liable to catch human diseases. So COVID or West Nile virus or the plague or influenza or, the common cold. Any human disease they could potentially catch. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. So we've talked about how there's some closeness in the great apes and with Sasquatch, physical things, genetic things. We've talked about that. But we move on. Some indigenous people believe that Sasquatch is a supernatural being that shifts between our dimension and their dimension. And that is, if you believe that, that is another possible explanation of what is going on. It would explain why we don't see. They are bipedal, yes. That means that they walk on two legs instead of knuckle walking like other primates do. Like chimpanzees knuckle walk. Gorillas knuckle walk. He's not really showing up, but you gotta trust me, okay? So, they believe that Bigfoot is a spiritual being, that he comes and goes, and only appears to give warnings of danger to the people or even the world. So, do the sightings of Bigfoot coincide with events of possible danger? Who knows? Now, there have been a lot of sightings of Bigfoot over the years. There are stories of gold miners having their cabins pelted with rocks. There have been over 10,000 eyewitness accounts of Sasquatch or Bigfoot in the lower 48 states. So the question I pose to you is Bigfoot a primate or is he a hoax? At this point, I'm going to leave you. I'm not ending live, okay? Not ending live. But I want to put this out there to you. Gigantopithecus is a genus of large, now we assume it's a extinct ape, okay? He stood about 10 feet tall, weighed 595 pounds. Scientists believe that it was more like an orangutan versus orangutan versus gorillas or chimps. It is now extinct and it lived in Southeast Asia, not in North America. But again, I throw this out there to you. Could this creature have had unknown relatives who crossed the land bridge between Asia and North America? We don't know. There's no evidence to suggest that they did. However, other areas do have other wild men. The Himalayan mountains and other areas have Yeti. That's a very scary looking Yeti. He's also bipedal, also hairy. Potentially Yeti, because of where they live, could be more apt to be more of a carnivore than Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Obviously, I don't know if Yeti would have the six-pack there, but that's beside the point. There's a lot to say. We don't know if Sasquatch or Yeti are real. I do know that more often than not, when there have been specimens found, such as hair, a lot of times those come back as not being a match for Sasquatch or Yeti. Oftentimes it's a bear. Sometimes it's cattle. Yeah, we have footprints, but some of the footprints have been hoaxes. Some of the sightings have even been hoaxes. So, are we seeing a bear walking on two legs? Because they will sometimes. Are we seeing a guy in a suit? What are people seeing? Really, really hard to say. We are 21 minutes into this live. But I do apologize for being late today. I was working on Tuesday's live, which is going to be killer. It's going to be an amazing, amazing live. You do not want to miss that live. Also, just so you know, because everybody wants to know, right? Why am I typing in Amazon? Any questions pertaining or comments pertaining to the discussion tonight? We have a new subscriber in the last 5 minutes. Woohoo! Thank you. I am going to submit that my opinion that Bigfoot is somehow related to Yeti. Now, it might be a little bit of a strained relationship. I don't have the ability to put something up on the screen, but if you could look at a chart, uh-oh, that's not good. There it goes. Okay. Why, when I need to wipe something, I'm gonna cheat. I wanna show you guys something. And this is the only way I know to do it. So, Carol, I'm going to draw a chart just to sort of highlight something. It's probably not going to show up really well, but that says primates. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So we have all of the other primates. We're not going to include those. We're just interested in. Okay. I can't spell. So we have a little chart. So these are all of the other primates. And then we have a family. Okay. This is all one family. These are subfamilies. These are orangutans. And this other side has another family that contains chimps, gorillas, hominids. And I can't spell, so whatever. Somewhere there are, I think, 9 species of hominids. Now, I don't believe that Bigfoot is a hominid. I don't believe that. He could be, in which case he'd fit in somewhere here. Okay? Meaning he's closer related to us than he would be the gorillas. But quite possibly, Sasquatch fits in a little bit differently. So there have been a lot. I think there's been more than 9. Okay, I definitely think that. And when I say hominids, I mean people. Or humans, I guess is really what I'm talking about. And there have been a lot. Okay, so we are Homo We're Homo sapiens, okay? And scientifically, we've been around for about 200,000 years. Roughly, okay? Another species is Homo florensis, and they died out about 18,000 years ago. And there's been two others in between that died out about 200,000 years ago. There are, let's see, between us, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 species of hominids, not the great apes. So Neanderthal, which we all hear about, they died out about 28,000 years ago. However, that means that there's some overlap. Okay. So Neanderthal and humans at some point, I'm not want to say, I don't know if it was marriage, but we connected. We knew each other. We begot babies together. And some of us still carry that DNA with us as a part of our genes. Are there other organisms that carry that genetic code within us? Possibly, but who really knows? But I do believe that Bigfoot and Yeti are potentially cousins within a larger family. But that could be like Homo sapien versus Homo erectus or Homo Neanderthal. Hard to know without having a genetic specimen to say, hey, we can now trace the genetic code and find out where they belong. Hard to do, very hard to do. Yes. But when I say hominids, I'm talking more human-ish, like the caveman. I'm not talking chimps, orangutans, bonobos, and the like. I'm talking just human species. So if you look at just the Homo genus, there's Homo rudolphinus, Eragaster habilis, Homo georgicus, Homo erectus, and some of these creatures do overlap in their range. Homo Neanderthal, I associate with the Ice Age. They were around for a while, 300,000 years ago to 28,000 years ago. they would have subsisted along with Homo florensis and, of course, Homo sapiens. So anything is possible. But basically, my saying that they're related is totally speculation on my part. And it would only be scientifically. It wouldn't necessarily mean that we are anything other than a genetic closeness. I am not suggesting that humans evolved from anything else. I'm just saying, scientifically, this is the group that we have been put into. If you wanted to look at this from a different perspective, okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of this is who we are. Okay, this dot represents the group that primates are in. So you come down, and this is lemurs and their cousins. Okay, so lemurs, this is, I think it's called prosimia. Prosimii. Um, there. And then the next line down separates. And these are your monkeys. And you have New World and Old World. The O is Old World and the N is New World. Now, what's interesting is the split. Okay? The split occurs here. We have our hominids. Okay? Now, this group, this is an important group because this has two subfamilies, the orangutans, chimps, bonobos, gorillas. And then there's all of these others. And most of these are, well, they're cousins, close cousins of ours that date back as far back as 7 million years ago. Now, science looks at things way differently than you might if you're religious. Okay, so Homo sapien, remember we said Homo sapien, according to science, showed up around 200,000 years ago. Not very long ago. in the grand scheme of things. So, is Bigfoot somewhere in the middle? Or is he up there? Remember, gorillas, chimps, and bonobos, and orangutans all are knuckle walkers. That doesn't affect how we view them. They still have that same genetic code, or pretty close to it. They all use tools. They can catch pretty much the same diseases. They're not all omnivores like us. Gibbons, by the way, are also in the split. But this webpage or this YouTube channel is all about your opinions. So this is my scientific opinion that Bigfoot, if he's real, falls somewhere between here and here. That's my guess. And you are free to guess your estimates, your thoughts. But yeah, we are 41 minutes into this. I did not think we would go this far. What do you think? Does Bigfoot fit into our estimate of where he fits genetically? Or is he like some of the Indians, like some of the indigenous people suggest? Is he not really from Earth as we know it? You decide. I don't know. Not my place to help you figure out what you believe. I'm just here presenting facts or suggestions. By the way, if you have enjoyed this live and you have not yet subscribed, please do so. I am going to try and figure out what to use for next week, because our next live, and I guess I should probably go over the live, shouldn't I? So that you all know what in the heck is going on, right? Because everybody needs to know what's going on. Am I correct? I'm correct. Not that I'm always right, but golly, I like to think I am. We have another new subscriber. Holy tamale, people. Thank you. Vanessa, thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay, let's see. Oh, I don't know if he's the missing link, but he's something. Okay, so let's talk through the next a little bit. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are hitting a topic that I'm going to say now. If you get emotional about animals dying, that live is going to impact you. I'm just saying. Friday's live or Tuesday's live at 7 p.m. is wildlife trafficking. Friday at 7 p.m. citizen science at AZA Zoos. We are going to be looking at how zoos want you, the citizen of the city or area around that zoo, to help them protect wildlife, or to learn about wildlife. Saturday at 3 p.m. That is next Saturday at 3 p.m. We are going to be talking about spring edibles that might be in your yard. I'm not teaching you how to eat them. I'm just showing you that this plant is edible. And you can do your own research because I don't want to be responsible for you dying. But we are going to be talking about that. Oh, and also, next Saturday's video is going to be scheduled at 10 p.m. So there will be two lives, one at 10, or I might drop it down to 8 o'clock. It will be scheduled at 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to change that to 8. I'm going to change that to 8 p.m. so that it'll actually not be Saturday's video. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. Next Saturday's video is going to be there will be a 2-hour live that night. You heard me, a 2-hour live, but it will be 2 different lives. So one live will be a premiere for Saturday's video. I will be live for that video. And then, yeah. So we will have Friday night's video or live on Citizen Science at AZA Zoos at 7 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, the video for Saturday will premiere. I don't know yet what that video is going to be, but it will be something. And I will be here live to talk to you more about that video. I don't know how long the live will last. It may only last as long as the video. But if that is popular, I may do that every other week or so. I won't do it for every premiere, but I will do it for that video. So with that is what is new on that scale. But I want, because I happen to love when you guys help me out. Where am I at, guys? I don't know. I can't see it. Dashboard. 477 subscribers, guys. Woohoo! We are 3 subscribers away from having 480 subscribers. That to me is absolutely mind-blowing. I never ever thought that I would reach that point. You can ask everybody that knows me. I honestly never would have thought. Woohoo, happy dance. Um, Not really, because I don't dance, but we are just 23 subscribers away from reaching our goal of 500 subscribers. That gives me chills and goosebumps. No, no, not really, but I am excited. Now, I have one final, final favor to ask. Okay? I don't want you to go in and watch a video over and over and over and over again, but if you would pick a video, I don't care if you actually watch the video, but if you don't want to listen to it, mute it. Let it play. Because I need more opportunities to raise stuff, to raise the stats. Um Also, there will be questions on the lives for you to answer. Um do that. Put your questions in the comments of the videos. I'm changing around my scripts so that that will be included in them. Please do that. That would mean so much to me. At the 500 mark, things will be changing. I don't know how or why, but yeah. Also, I don't know what is going to happen this week because I have some issues coming up. Um I'm not going to get into them because I don't need people stressing over me and the channel, but things could be changing a little bit here and there. So just, and not necessarily in a good way, but I will talk to you about that later. For now, though, I'm going to end live so that I can get back to working on what I need to work on. So I will talk to everybody later. I will see you live again on Tuesday night and videos for now until the cows come home. Okay, talk to you later. Goodbye.